Alright guys, hello and welcome. Steve Howell here in another bonus video for you. And the purpose of this video is going to talk to you about finding cash buyers for your deal. You may be wondering, if you're just getting going with this real estate thing, how do you find buyers for your deal? It's great that you go out and do all this marketing and you have a deal under contract, but Steve, what do I do if I don't have any established buyers list? Where do I start? And the reason I want to record this for you, because if you're like me, this is a stopping point, or this is a hurdle that just actually stops some people in their tracks, because as humans we like to play the movie forward, and we like to, we're trying to do the best we can, and we like to, think things through before we go out and begin any new endeavor. So I know this is a hurdle for you, because it was a hurdle for me, and a lot of students when they first start with me, a lot of subscribers and people who watch YouTube videos. I get this question a lot: is Steve, what do I do? How do I find a buyer? And should I focus on that first, or should I focus on finding a deal first? And that's a question that I had. So years later now, looking back on it, what I would do first is actually go out and find a deal first. The reason I say that is because when you're speaking with these buyers, rather than telling them all the things you can do for them and how many amazing deals you're going to have for them, and really just blowing a bunch of smoke, and even if you have the best intentions, it's much more effective to go out and actually get that deal first and then have something to bring them. So that is my advice, is to follow the marketing first in the boot camp, and your primary focus should be getting deals under contract and getting your marketing going and staying consistent and learning to be the master in your area, and picking one strategy to stick with until it works. That should be your primary focus. However, I do want to paint this picture for you of I want to give you one or two tangible things that you can do to go out there and start building your buyers list, because you'll always be building your buyers list, and it helps, if you start a little early as well. But again, I want to make this very clear: do not make this your primary focus. Your primary focus needs to be getting deals under contract, because the easiest way to attract a lot of cash buyers in your area is to go get an amazing property that's worth $200,000 and go get it for 80 or 90 or 100,000, and sell it for, if you have it for 80 and you're selling it for 100, and it needs a little bit of work, and the end investor is going to make 60 or 70,000 cash for flipping that house and buying it from you, you're going to have buyers coming out of the woodwork. So let's just jump in. The most tangible way that you can go out there and find buyers, and this is true in the past, this is true currently, and it's my belief that it's going to be true in the future. One of the number one ways to find a buyer has been and will continue to be guerrilla marketing. And when I say guerrilla marketing, I'm referring to Bandit Signs. This is a way that you can go out and start generating buyers. Even if you have a well-established buyers list, which you will, you will still sell a lot of your deals via Bandit Signs. And what do I mean by a Bandit Sign? Let me just give you an example. So here's a couple of examples. You get a house under contract and you put out 15 to 25 Bandit Signs that say handyman special, must sell now, and you can even put in here 50K cash, or whatever you have it under contract for. Obviously you're marketing it up $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for your fee, and then your phone number. And if you don't want to use your personal cell phone, you can use like a free Google Voice number, is what I would recommend. Let's say you have a nice 3-2 house, that in my example, that you have it under contract for 90,000, let's say, or 85,000 or 80,000, and you're selling it for 99,000. So you put hot 3-2, that means 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 99K, worth 200K, must sell right now, and your phone number. Or rehabber special, 50K cash, worth 130K. You could even put cosmetic work only. And that tells people that it doesn't need a lot of work, it's just cosmetic. So these are variations of bandit signs that you can put out. And you put out 15, 20, 25 of those signs in the general vicinity of the house, and you are going to get a lot of calls. And when you get those calls, you simply add them to your buyers list. You get their name, their phone number, and their email. You find out a little bit about them, develop a little bit of rapport, and you want to keep things short and sweet. You do not want to overpromise and underdeliver. You can just say, you know, hey, my name is Steve, and I come across a lot of properties in the area, a lot of really good deals. Tommy, I'm not going to waste your time, but I do come across very good deals. A lot of them are not listed on the MLS. And you know, certainly I'd like to be in touch and send you those deals. Is that something you'd be interested in? And then you can ask them, you know, what they like. Do they like rehab deals? Are they a rehabber? Do they like things that need a lot of work? Like they're willing to dump 50, 60, 100K and completely flip a house? Or do they like just to do cosmetic work and rehab it up, you know, paint it and do smaller work, and they're more along the lines of like a landlord. They like to rent out their properties. So find out the best way to contact them, their email and their phone number, and then find out a little bit about what they like and what ends of towns they buy on. And here's just a couple of other short tips that you can do. So I'm going to let you start reading this for just a second, and then we'll go through this. So here's a couple of other things that you can do. You can put out the same thing that you're putting out on your bandit signs. You can put this you know, this ad out on Craigslist. That's just an extra thing that you can do. The bandit signs are going to yield you a little bit better results than Craigslist. Now, you may be asking yourself the question, Steve, where do I get these bandit signs at? And there's a lot of companies out on the internet. If you Google search bandit signs, you can easily find a bunch of companies. What you want to, the price point you want to keep in your mind is you want to try to get these signs, if you can, for $1 per sign. One of the best and kind of secret ways to do this is to look up and call around in your city local plastic companies. And a lot of times you can cut a deal with them if you let them know you'll be doing a lot of business together and stuff. You can cut a deal where you can get these signs for 70 or 80 cents a sign. And then, of course, you either want to get one of those sign staplers, which I believe there's actually a website out there like the signstapler.com, or you can research that tool. That'll allow you to hang it up high on telephone poles. I think that's important to do, but I also think you know, some of the best places to put the signs, and this is another point that I want to make for you. You want to put them in high traffic areas, and sometimes the, you know, on and off ramps of the freeway are very, very good in the nice ends of town and where there's a lot of traffic. And also where you see other people putting their signs, that scares a lot of people, and they're like, oh man, there's some other big wholesalers in my city. Well, my friend, if they're putting signs out there week in and week out, that tells you that it's working. They're not going to be wasting their time constantly putting up signs if they're not getting a ton of phone calls. So pay attention to where signs are going out and put your signs out there as well. This is actually another way to generate leads. I'm not telling you you're going to go out there and put out 20 signs and get a deal, because it typically doesn't happen like that. With bandit signs, when you're trying to get leads and you see the We Buy House cash and your phone number, first of all, you're going to get all different types of leads, which is good. You're going to get your phone ringing, but it's very cyclical. Sometimes it takes, you know, you put out signs for a whole month and you get a few calls, and then other times you put out signs and you get a couple deals. So if you're going to do it on the seller end of things, like the We Buy Houses, you want to do at least 25 signs a week, and you want to do it consistently. Like, decide, I'm going to do it every week for the next 6 months, because I think if you just do it hit and miss, and actually I know this from experience, if you just do a couple weekends here, a couple weekends there, it's really going to be a big waste of time. You have to do it consistently for like 3 months, 6 months without missing every single weekend. You want to put it where people can actually either take a picture nowadays of your sign or write down your phone number. You don't want to put it where they're driving by so fast where they can't even see it. And again, I want to keep the main focus of this video about the buyer side. So again, you're doing like these sample ads here where you're doing handyman special. You can also do investor special. A lot of times you're putting it for what you have it under contract and then what it's worth and your phone number. So that's a huge way to get buyers, my friend. Absolute. Even after you've developed a VIP buyers list and you have repeat buyers and you've developed relationships, tossing out 15 or 20, 25 bandit signs around the general vicinity of the house you have under contract are very, very, like, a lot of times that's where you can find your buyers even after you have an established buyers list. So take action on this. Don't let the fact that you have no buyers list. When I started, I had no buyers list. Every big real estate investor, for the most part, when they start, they're starting from zero. So don't give yourself the excuses of, well, it's easy for this guy or it's easy for you because you have an established buyers list. Those excuses will keep you where you're at. So you want to go out there and market and find deals. Don't let it affect you that you do not have a buyer's list right now. Because when you do this stuff, you're going to very quickly see how easy actually finding buyers and developing that buyer's list when you have a solid deal. Not when you have a deal that you shouldn't have under contract and you didn't market the right way. But when you truly have a good deal, it is actually easy to find a buyer for the properties. And then again, anyone who doesn't end up following through and buying the deal, every time you put these out, you're going to add 10, 15, 20 buyers to your buyers list. So this is a very, very effective way to do this. You want to put it in high traffic areas where a ton of people are going to see it. You want to spread it out over town. I found the best times to do these bandit signs either late at night, or there's many a nights where I was out early in the morning, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You want to check the rules in your area. Some cities and towns, don't care much about bandit signs. For the most part, the police and town, whoever's in charge of like the town principalities and stuff like that, they generally don't like signs, but everybody puts out signs for garage sales. Realtors put out signs. People are advertising tutoring and all sorts of businesses. So why not, at least even if they get taken down, and you want to put them out with the mindset and the expectation that they are going to get taken down. They're not going to stay up forever. You're going to have to put them out. Every time you get a property under contract, you want to be putting out 15 to 20 bandit signs, and then you may have to wait a week and put them out again. But it's worth it if you can go out there and close your deal and make $10,000 or $15,000. The couple hours it took you to get the signs, to write them out, and to put them out is absolutely worth it. And then you develop a tried and true buyers list. So the last tip that I'm going to give you is the other thing that you can do that's actually free is to look up your local Real Estate Investors Association meeting. Your local Real Estate Investors Association meeting. This is huge because it's going to allow you to, one second here. So with going to your local RIA meeting, that's your Real Estate Investors Association, they should have a meeting at least twice a month, if not once a week, in your specific area. So you want to go there and you want to start networking with buyers. You don't want to brag about all the great things you're going to want to do. You kind of want to be a fly on the wall your first couple of times. And then just start talking with people, start networking with people, and you want to just politely let people know that you are in real estate in your area. You come across great deals that are typically not listed on the MLS, that have a lot of equity, and you'd love to exchange contact information, and you're not going to waste their time, but you're going to send them some good stuff, and then just get their name and their email and their phone number and put them on your buyers list. And you can even see if they have, sometimes they'll have like a rehabber or a landlord or even a wholesaling subgroup. And that just means like they'll have a separate weekly or bi-weekly or monthly meeting for rehabbers or for landlords, where they'll meet at a restaurant or maybe a different location once a month, and they'll have different speakers come in. And this is a great chance for you, first of all, just to get immersed in your city and to really see how it's done and meet some people who are doing it locally. And it's also a lot of the buyers for your future properties that, if you follow the things that I'm teaching, you're going to get some stuff under contract and you'll be able to be, selling some properties. selling, the contracts, and a lot of the people who buy these are rehabbers and landlords. So the more that you can get in touch with and find out what they like, and again, don't overpromise and underdeliver, but you want to have at least a little bit of a, kind of like I mentioned here in this video, of something that, where they remember you a little bit from. So final point I want to make here for you is, what do you do with this name, email address, and phone number once you get it? Well, first of all, starting from the very beginning, starting from right now, you want to add those to your buyers list. And in the beginning, you're going to have like whatever email service you use, whether it's Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, but I would actually suggest right from the beginning getting a newsletter service. And the one that I use, and I would actually highly recommend it because they have amazing deliverability, is GetResponse. And if you use the this link right here, GetResponse credit, it'll actually give you a $30 free credit, which pays for your first 2 months. So it's a really cool thing that GetResponse does. But what this is this is a autoresponder, so you can preload messages, but it's also, more importantly, a place where you can send a broadcast email. So instead of doing the unprofessional thing and just, CCing everybody in Gmail, like, back in when I first started, I started doing, you can actually formulate a professional email newsletter. And in the beginning, I don't want that to scare you, but you can just be adding your contacts, their name, their phone number, their email. You can add that into GetResponse, and it houses all your contacts. When you start building up your buyers list to 50, 100, 200, 500 people, you don't even from the beginning, I wouldn't recommend using Gmail. You actually, just a free tip that I'm going to give you in this video, is you want to begin as soon as possible sending out a weekly email newsletter to your subscribers and to your buyers list. You want to be marketing the properties that you have under contract, as well as maybe a weekly tip or something funny or interesting, so they get to know you as a person. And this is one way you're going to stand out to the competition and be different than the 95% of the other wholesalers. So I recommend, certainly there's a lot of services, you can use Gmail, you can use all those, but I would recommend for your weekly email newsletter and to house all your buyers, I would recommend using GetResponse. And if you just copy and paste this or type in getresponsecredit.com, you can actually go there, and through that link, I have an arrangement with them where you'll get a free $30 credit. And you'll get that credit if you purchase. There's a free trial that you can use, but the lowest plan they have, which is the plan I would recommend you starting out on, is only $15 a month. And when you're building your business, this is a tool that you need to have. You need to have an autoresponder that allows you to send out weekly newsletters and weekly broadcast emails where you can, start marketing your services to the buyers and developing your brand. So this is a tool that you absolutely need, and all successful real estate investors, business owners, marketers have this tool. And actually, there's a few others out there, but GetResponse, I've tried them all. It's my favorite. So if you get the $15 a month plan, that is when you'll get the credit. Certainly, this is no pitch to get it. I'm just telling you what I use and what I'd recommend. And then if you purchase it through this link, the $15 a month, it'll give you up to 1,000 contacts, so that gives you plenty of room. And you'll get a free $30, so the service is paid for the first 2 months. So just kind of another little bonus gift for you there. But my friend, the main purpose of this video was to give you some tangible things you can do to go out there and find buyers for your deals. So I hope that I've done that for you. I hope I've given you a couple real tangible ways to get buyers. So now that we've blasted through that hurdle that maybe you've had in your mind, you can go out there and you can confidently start marketing and following the steps that I've given you in this free boot camp. And you can go out there and start getting some deals with the confidence to say, hey, even though I don't have buyers right now, I'm going to have them in the very near future. So it's time to get to work, because there's people that depend on you. Your family needs you. I'm sure you have goals set for yourself, and it's time to go out there and get busy and start making some of these things happen. So my friend, I hope you appreciate this video, and it was definitely my pleasure shooting it. So you guys have an awesome day, and I appreciate you for stopping by.